Archangel Michael says, my beloved child. Archangel Michael says it's an emergency. Michael is crying loudly because you don't listen to this. The heavens are trembling, not in fear, but in fervent longing for your awakening. You are not reading this by accident. This moment was written into the stars, carved into the pages of your destiny. You have ignored signs. You have overlooked whispers. You have dismissed dreams. But now there is no more time to wait. The trumpet has been sounded. The veil is thinning. The truth you've tried to ignore is roaring through the heavens. You have one final moment to choose light, to open your heart, to hear this divine cry. Archangel Michael has descended. His voice thunders across the realms. His tears burn with divine urgency. He does not cry for himself. He cries for you, for the soul that has strayed too far from its divine purpose. For the one who has been shackled by illusions and led by false lights. The enemy came dressed in beauty. The deceiver walked in smiles. And now, heaven can no longer wait. This message must be spoken. You must open your eyes now. Archangel Michael is not whispering. He is roaring. He is crying loudly because time has run short. If you delay, what is meant for you may pass to another. There is a truth being revealed. A lie collapsing. A false connection is being stripped away. Finally, God is exposing this woman. Open it now before she closes the door completely. Before the truth is buried again beneath charm and manipulation. Before she casts one more veil over your eyes and makes you believe it was all in your imagination. It wasn't. It never was. What you sensed was real. What your spirit cried out against was accurate. But the voices around you begged you to doubt it. And now, heaven can no longer be silent. This woman walked into your life when you were vulnerable. She mirrored your light but never carried it. She repeated your words but never understood their source. She wrapped herself in the image of goodness but operated from motives laced with jealousy and ambition. You offered her love, she offered you confusion. You gave her access, she used it as a doorway to slow your divine assignment. Your blessings began to stall. Your peace grew thinner. Your clarity dissolved. You couldn't name it, but your soul screamed for justice. And now that cry has been answered. God says this is not the hour for passivity. This is the hour for holy boldness. You are not being asked to destroy anyone. You are being called to step into the truth. To no longer cover what heaven is uncovering. To no longer excuse what God is removing. You are not unloving when you walk away from manipulation. You are not selfish when you protect your light. You are not arrogant when you honor your calling. You have permission. You have command. Archangel Michael has already begun to separate wheat from chaff around you. The sword of truth is active. No lie shall remain hidden. No mask shall stay in place. Heaven knows your heart. They saw your silence. They heard the cries you buried beneath smiles. They witnessed how you stayed loyal even when your soul screamed for boundaries. But now is the moment of reversal. What was last is becoming first. What was unseen is being spotlighted. What was misjudged is being honored. And the false alliances that stood in your way are being dismantled. The truth is not cruel. It is liberating. And God is offering you the key right now. This is not the first time He has tried to speak to you. But now, it is the final time before the shift. The alignment is delicate. The window is precise. There is a clock in heaven ticking toward a moment where everything changes. But you must move in obedience. You must believe your discernment. You must act even if you are afraid. Fear has stolen enough from you. Doubt has delayed too much. And now, Archangel Michael's cry echoes into your soul. Listen now or risk losing what is divinely yours. The woman being exposed was never meant to stay. She was sent as a distraction, cloaked in beauty but empty of truth. She weaved spiritual words into her manipulation. She promised safety while planting confusion. She acted concerned but plotted competition. Her time is over. The holy fire is consuming her influence. And if you try to hold on to her presence, you will be scorched by what heaven is removing. Do not rescue what God is rejecting. Do not fight for what the angels are fleeing from. There is no hatred here. Only light. Only truth. Only the holy reckoning of a God who loves you too much to let you remain in delay. Your destiny is precious. Your calling is eternal. The vibrations of your purpose are shaking the very air around you. You must rise. You must obey. You must say yes, not to fear, but to faith. Not to people, but to promise. Not to illusion, but to revelation. This woman is not your friend. She is not your helper. She is not your covering. She is the veil you were meant to tear through. And the time to do it is now. Open it now before she buries the truth again. Open your heart. Open your mind. Open your spirit to what God has been screaming in silence. The moment is holy. The urgency is divine. And heaven is watching how you respond. You are being asked to step into light so bright it might scare you. But do not retreat. Your true power has always lived in this light. The false lights dimmed you. The counterfeit love weakened you. But the holy fire now burns for your liberation. The angels are circling. Archangel Michael stands guard. God's voice is speaking through every line of this message. This is not imagination. This is divine dispatch. It is being written in your spirit even as your eyes read the words. And now you must decide. Will you stay entangled in webs woven by a woman with false intentions? Or will you rise, shake off the dust, and step into the new dimension heaven has reserved for you? You are not alone. Heaven is with you. The divine hosts walk beside you. But they will not override your will. You must choose the truth. And so the sky still echoes with the cries of Archangel Michael. He has not stopped. His voice rings in realms you cannot see, and his tears are not of weakness, they are fire, compassion, and the urgency of your soul's timeline. You think you have time. But heaven knows better. The opportunities lining up now will not circle again in the same way. The exact arrangement, the precise orchestration of divine timing, this window is brief. You were meant to read this now, and the Holy Spirit is stirring within you. Do not ignore the stirring. Do not silence the cry rising from your own spirit. Heaven has not abandoned you. God is near. The throne has not been silent. In fact, heaven has shouted for your rescue, but your ears were closed, your heart distracted. You looked to humans to confirm the truths your soul already knew. You asked for signs, and they came, but you dismissed them as coincidence. You cried out for help, but when it arrived disguised in conviction, you turned away. But now, Archangel Michael is not offering suggestion. He is declaring intervention. This is not guidance, it is command. You must act. This is a divine separation. And what is being removed must not be retrieved. God is cutting ties, not out of wrath, but for your resurrection. What is exposed must not be covered again. You may want to protect someone who once made you feel needed. But do not confuse comfort with covenant. Just because she offered a shoulder once doesn't mean she offered love. Just because she echoed your words doesn't mean she echoed your calling. Just because she stood by your side doesn't mean she walked with your spirit. Finally, God is exposing this woman. Open it now before the veil returns, before the window closes, before you are drawn back into a cycle that heaven is trying to break forever. The truth is not cruel. It is your rescue. This is your Red Sea moment. If you do not cross now, you will remain bound in a land of spiritual confusion. But if you obey, if you move, everything shifts. The miracles waiting on the other side cannot meet you until you leave what was never meant to stay. You must know this now, heaven trusts you. Heaven sees your worth. That is why the exposure is happening. Not because you are weak, but because you are too important to stay misled. The deception was subtle. The lies were wrapped in charm. But the spiritual sickness they caused was growing too dangerous. You lost focus. You began to question your own worth. You slowed your pace. You allowed yourself to become small. But now heaven is breathing into your lungs again. The angels stand at attention. The battle is not around you, it is over you. You are the one the enemy fears. You are the one anointed to break generational strongholds. You are the one who carries light that will awaken nations. That's why you were targeted with distraction. That's why the false woman was sent into your life, not because she mattered, but because you do. And now, the divine reckoning begins. The truth is thundering down. Her mask is falling. Her influence is vanishing. Her manipulations are dissolving. But you must not look back. Do not grieve the separation of a false bond. Do not try to salvage what God has rejected. You are not losing anything real. You are being freed. God is not taking something from you, He is clearing your space for something far greater. You are stepping into the fullness of who you were always meant to be, unhindered, undelayed, unbound. She was not sent to bless you. She was sent to monitor you, to mimic your calling and dilute your power, to keep you attached to her approval while she fed from your light. She saw your gifts, and instead of honoring them, she envied them. She saw your fire, and instead of protecting it, she tried to control it. This is not love. This is not covenant. This is not alignment. And the time for pretending is over. Archangel Michael does not cry for nothing. His cries are rare. And when they come, it is because something sacred is being threatened. Your purpose is too valuable. Your time is too short. Your calling is too high. Heaven cannot sit silently while you remain tethered to someone who was never called to walk beside you. This is your command: step forward now. Cut the tie. Trust the exposure. Move in truth. God will be with you. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You just have to trust God and pray to Him. Your obedience is not for God's benefit, it is for yours. He already knows what lies ahead. He already sees the path He is opening. He already has the divine connections prepared for you, waiting for you, calling your name. But they cannot meet you in the place of deception. You must rise. You've cried enough. You've questioned long enough. You've tried to reason with your spirit, to justify what you knew was misaligned. But now, the Spirit of truth is louder than the voice of confusion. You don't need to explain it to anyone. You don't need to convince those who never saw it. You don't need permission to move forward. You only need obedience. The light is increasing. The holy fire is coming. Every false connection is being dissolved. The woman who pretended to honor you is being revealed. Her smile cannot hide her intentions. Her compliments cannot cover her competition. Her presence cannot remain in your holy space. She must go. And it is heaven who has declared it. You are stepping into a new season. A season where everything hidden is seen. Where every delay is reversed. Where every counterfeit is replaced with divine truth. But your action must match heaven's word. Your feet must move when God speaks. Your heart must trust when God uncovers. Your spirit must rise when heaven shouts. The tears of Archangel Michael are not of sadness, they are of urgency. He is roaring through your life now, commanding you to awaken. You are being aligned. You are being purified. You are being restored. And this moment will be remembered in the heavens as the day everything changed, if you obey. The cry still echoes. Michael's voice has not faded. He stands with his sword not for destruction but for divine justice. His tears are not weakness, they are holy fire. Do you feel it? The trembling in your spirit is the sound of heaven drawing near. The air around you has changed because your calling has reached its moment of divine pressure. You cannot carry what is holy into what is counterfeit. The light you bear cannot remain in shadows. There is no more time to compromise with confusion. That false connection, the one that comforted your flesh but starved your soul, has been weighed. Heaven has measured it, and it has been found lacking. This is not judgment, it is mercy. The longer you stay in the company of deceit, the harder it becomes to recognize the real from the false. God is not angry at you. He is grieved that your spirit has been slowly drained while you smiled outwardly. You wore peace like a mask, but your soul was crying for a way out. And now, the way has been made. What seemed comfortable was actually a cage. The presence of that woman kept you tethered to illusions. Her words painted pictures of loyalty, but her spirit worked against your elevation. You questioned it, didn't you? You felt it in the stillness of your prayer time, that something wasn't pure. But fear kept you from acting. Hope kept you from seeing. But now God has cleared the smoke. The mask has slipped. The true motives are seen. She was sent to distract. Sent to dilute. Sent to slow you. And you let her in because her words were sweet, and her actions echoed sincerity. But now, heaven speaks plainly. Finally, God is exposing this woman. Open it now before her influence clouds your clarity again. This is not a whisper. It is a shout from heaven. You are not being punished. You are being promoted. But your promotion cannot coexist with pretense. The light in you has matured beyond what she can understand. That is why she subtly ridiculed your vision, mocked your pace, questioned your growth. That is why your dreams felt stagnant. Why your inspiration dimmed. Because your light was being shared with someone who wanted to possess it, not protect it. Now hear this, you are free. You are not bound to explanations. You are not tied to pleasing those who never saw your worth. You are not obligated to remain in a place of spiritual starvation just because you shared a past. Heaven does not consult your past when it prepares your future. The people of your destiny will not compete with your calling, they will celebrate it. They will not try to hold you down, they will lift you. They will not use your vulnerability, they will protect it. That woman was not your destiny. She was your distraction. Archangel Michael is still weeping, but the tears have shifted. Now they are tears of relief. Because the message is reaching your heart. Because your spirit is waking up. Because you are listening. You are breaking free. Let the truth settle deep now. Let it soak through every layer of doubt, every fragment of confusion. Heaven is not silent about you. God sees you. He chose you. Not in theory, but in practice. Your daily life matters to Him. Every decision, every tie, every connection. He is not distant from your story. He is writing it. And right now, He is flipping the page. You must not return to what God has removed. Even if her words plead with you. Even if she changes her tone. Even if she promises change. The door is closed. Not because you are cruel, but because God is wise. And He sees the end from the beginning. You saw what she showed. He saw what she hid. The season has shifted. And you cannot bring old wine into a new wineskin. You cannot drag deception into divine territory. You cannot pretend neutrality when heaven is making war over your calling. There is no more time to be passive. The throne room has declared movement. You are not just being pulled away from something. You are being launched into something greater. You are being aligned with divine acceleration. The weight you've been feeling was not depression, it was stagnation. The ties around your soul were draining your clarity, your energy, your joy. But now, the chains are falling. The woman God is exposing, she was placed in your life to study you, not support you. She mirrored your words, but not your heart. She clung to your light because hers was fading. But no more. The divine light around you has become too strong for imitation. It exposes every counterfeit. That's why she's restless now. That's why you feel the shift. Heaven will never require you to maintain what God Himself is removing. Let her go. Without explanation. Without guilt. Without delay. The Spirit of God is moving you, and when He moves, you move. This is not abandonment, it is obedience. And now, a sacred stillness comes. Heaven has said what needs to be said. Archangel Michael has poured out his plea. The time is here. You must choose the comfort of familiarity or the fire of truth. Choose now. Do not wait for the storm to pass. The exposure is the mercy. The shaking is the gift. The uncovering is the rescue. This is not just for your sake. It is for those you are called to lead, to inspire, to bless. You are not alone. The ripple of your obedience will break strongholds in others. You are not just choosing for yourself, you are choosing for every generation connected to your name. God says, "My child, I have waited patiently. I have watched you try to make what was never real into something permanent. I have seen your tears, heard your prayers. I have felt your pain. But now I act. Now I move. You do not need to understand everything, just follow me. Just trust me. What I remove, I replace. What I uncover, I heal. What I command, I bless. So go forward. Stand up in the light. Leave what was never real. Let go of the counterfeit. And step boldly into what I have prepared. Your faith will not fail you. Your steps will not be wasted. I am with you, and no one can take what I have ordained. Heaven is roaring. The angels are rejoicing. Archangel Michael wipes his tears. Because you have heard. You have received. You have awakened. This is the beginning of everything new. And as the final moment of this message unfolds, hear it once more. Finally, God is exposing this woman. Open it now before her presence pulls you into a false peace. Open it now before her voice replaces your inner clarity. Open it now, for heaven has spoken. And so the heavens remain open above you. The air has shifted because your spirit has now aligned with truth. You are no longer chained to silence. You are no longer bound by the illusion that deceived your path. This moment, yes, this very breath you take, is part of the divine turnaround. There is no coincidence in your awakening. There is no randomness in this message. Archangel Michael has stood before the throne for you, pleading for divine intervention, and now his cry has shattered the veil that once clouded your clarity. Do not mourn what you are leaving behind. Do not long for what has been removed. That woman, who once held your trust, is now exposed, not to shame her but to release you. Heaven does not expose to destroy. Heaven reveals to protect. Her words once swayed you. Her actions once comforted you. But underneath that, there was a spirit that diluted your truth. You knew it deep down. You felt the shift each time you tried to rise, only to be pulled down with invisible weight. That invisible resistance was not yours. It was hers. This is why your prayers had felt delayed. This is why your inspiration had grown cold. This is why you felt weary without reason. But now, the fog lifts. The tears that once clouded your vision are turning into rivers of life. The veil has been removed. God is restoring sight, spiritual sight. And as clarity returns, so does power. You are no longer helpless. You are no longer a victim of manipulation. You are rising. Feel the fire in your bones. That is purpose. That is divine inheritance awakening. You were not created to live in confusion. You were not born to live under spiritual control. That woman tried to keep you within the boundaries of her influence, but your spirit has outgrown those borders. That's why there was tension. That's why you felt inner dissonance. Because your soul was crying for a higher realm, and now heaven has answered. Archangel Michael, no longer weeping, now watches in strength. He sees your obedience. He sees your heart rising into fullness. He sees your yes becoming louder than your fear. He watches as you choose truth over comfort, light over shadow, destiny over distraction. The battle in the unseen is being won, not by force, but by surrender. You surrendered to truth, and truth is setting you free. The divine scroll of your life is being unrolled further now. You are stepping into pages that have been sealed until this very moment. What was once inaccessible is now being revealed. The doors are opening, not by your might, but by divine timing. This exposure, this unveiling, is not just a moment, it is a divine realignment. You will begin to notice subtle shifts. People who once attracted you will lose their pull. Places that once felt familiar will begin to feel foreign. Desires that once dictated your decisions will now seem hollow. Don't fear these changes. They are evidence of your spiritual migration. You are being moved from one realm of living to another. This is elevation. You may grieve for a while, not because you want to return, but because letting go of familiarity is never easy. That woman may still reach out. She may use every word she knows to draw you back. She may cry. She may flatter. She may even use others to make you doubt. But remember this, God already spoke. Heaven already confirmed. Your peace is not found in her presence. Your purpose is not fulfilled in her story. This journey ahead will not be easy, but it will be worth it. You are not alone. Angelic hosts surround you now. You may not see them, but they walk beside you. Every time you choose faith, every time you reject manipulation, every time you step away from the old, heaven records it as victory. You are building a legacy that is rooted in truth. And hear this, what God reveals, He redeems. What He exposes, He restores. Your heart will not remain broken. Your trust will not remain shattered. What felt like loss will soon look like gain. The empty spaces will be filled with divine appointments. Your loneliness will make room for holy companionship. Your silence will be replaced with songs of joy. Let the healing begin. Let the release be total. Don't carry even a thread of guilt. You did what you could. You tried to love. You tried to fix. But your effort cannot change what is spiritually misaligned. Release her, not in hatred, but in grace. She too must face her own journey. But your path has been redirected. And it leads to promise. Heaven rejoices with you. Your yes has echoed through eternity. You may feel tired, but new strength is coming. Divine encounters await. Unexpected breakthroughs will meet you. Favor will follow your obedience. Because you honored truth, truth will now honor you. Archangel Michael stands at the gates of your next season, holding the sword of light, not for harm, but for protection. He will go before you. No force will be able to touch what God has sealed. The woman who once overshadowed your joy no longer has access to your spirit. Her chapter has closed. The book moves forward. And even now, as you sit with these words, something within you has shifted. You feel lighter, clearer, calmer. That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Heaven is near. God is here. The veil has torn. The chains have snapped. You are free. And finally, as heaven quiets, and the air becomes still again, hear this one more time. Finally, God is exposing this woman. Open it now before her influence returns like a fog over your progress. Open it now before confusion whispers in your ears once again. Open it now, because what's waiting for you on the other side is more than you ever imagined. If you believe in God, type Amen.